need to see out of Champions League. Probably maybe not the Vayne, maybe something else coming out of Loken, but it felt like it was execution-based in game.
Execution-based, sure, but a lot of it was playing into the hands of Invictus Gaming early and not being able to find defensive options. For Clid, it was being able to go topside when your bottom lane was getting demolished. So I think a lot of it comes down to pathing. Those are hard solutions to find. You should just try and find better focus. Best focus usually means Clid on a much more aggressive jungler and one pushing lane for your adjacent lanes in the top side of the map. As long as they can get a pushing lane to play around, Clid will feel a lot more comfortable other than just sitting back and looking for counter ganks.
Yeah, that's typically the JD MO as well, so we'll see if it translates in picks and bans. It's the LeBlanc, the Gragas, and the Rakan ban from IG. First pick, Aatrox once again. JD over to their side, ban away with the Akali, Varus, and the Jace. No more of that from Rookie. Not going to have that one again for the rest of the set. Rise on Tamkent from them, and an instant lock into the bottom lane from Invictus Gaming.
This is when you look, yeah, sure, different sides, but absolutely the same picks except for the Ashe. So the Ashe does break it. Also, Jace being banned mean that Rookie's just going to have to play a different pick. He's going to be on blue side, so I'm wondering what his blind pick is going to be going up against Yagao. He's already showcased that he is willing to play the Rise 2 series in a row, playing Rise in 2 games for CDG. And then playing it in both games here, or just one for going up against Invictus Gaming. So you assume that it goes to Yagao, but Zoom can play the Rise as well.
Now, Olaf banned that towards Ning, and I'm actually looking towards Clid, and I agree with you. I want to see a more aggressive jungler come out of him. We didn't get to see it because Gragas was banned last time around, so was the Olaf, actually. So, Clid, will you bring something aggro out, or will it be another tank, maybe something like a Sejuani? Invictus Gaming with the ban there on Urgot. Didn't work out for Zoom, though we do know he is straight up just the best Urgot we have, so why not just take it off the board? Great matchup into Duke's potential Aatrox as well.
I think Ning's just going to go back towards the Zac. I mean, he picked it into the Tahm last time around, made it much more easier to blow the game open once you can dive on towards JD. That being said, gives an opportunity for JD to just go towards the Graves. Clid had an amazing Graves going up against FPX. I loved how how we would play around it. I think that worked out so well, having him get on the map much faster, playing around scuttle pressure. And he has an Ashe in this game, meaning he doesn't have the ownership of CC. In fact, usually when you pick an Ashe this early, sure, you have the laning phase pressure, but also makes it so you can pick a carry in the jungle.
I actually loved that Graves pick because it was also alongside the Sion in top lane. So you had the tank, you had the DPS, and just demolished that top lane. Zac's going to be the final ban there, so actually just rounding out with 3 jungle bans. JD looking towards their jungler right here.
Ooh, is that the amazing hover? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it is. Skarner locked into the jungle here for Clid.
Ode to Shulka. That being said,
Ode to Shulka.
That's a lot of CC coming out for JDG. A lot of pick potential that they already have because they already came out with the Rise, followed up with the Ashe, and now once he hits 6, Clid's going to be on you too. They're just playing purely off a pick, not just the team fight venture there. So I wonder what Invictus Gaming are going to be doing. A lot of cleanse you expect coming out of Jackie-Love and Rookie to deal with that, but also wonder if they have a pick in mind.
Well, we've finally swapped up the draft here from Invictus Gaming. Start off the same 3 picks. We get to see Rookie's Orianna as well. No Jace, but you have the good matchup into the Rise if it's going to be in the mid lane here from Yagao. And we get a job into the jungle for Ning.
Now you got to see if Yagao's willing to pick the Rise into that. It's already being hovered. You can either get Zoom's top lane pick into Aatrox, which honestly, you'd rather not. I think at that point you should just pick a tank.
Oh! That's the Quinn.
I'm just kidding, by the way. I didn't say that. Tank, what?
Yeah, no, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. No, Quinn's to the top lane. We've had a couple already in the LPL. Hasn't worked out that well, but he has only won 1 game so far out of the 4 that we've had. Jinnu was the first, because he was coming right out of Korean solo queue. It was flavor of the month for a bit, and he was like, I'm going to try it in the LPL.
Well, if I think of Quinn, I think of Keen coming out of a Freak of Freaks. I think pure top lane fight, skirmish, push him out of lane and roam towards the mid lane. So immediately coming out for Quinn, she's going to have a lot of pressure in the top lane matchup, but she's going to be looking towards Rookie. Rookie's going to be feeling so much pressure from top lane, from the Skarner pick, he's going to be feeling it, and when Rookie gets this much pressure in the past and playoff situation, he usually crumbles. So I want to see what he can do here.
I love the fact that JD go red side and choose to give Zoom that final pick. Give him the counter pick. It's not going to happen mid lane. We've seen the tenacity and we've seen the propensity actually from Invictus Gaming to target out the mid lane. Ning's going to be visiting there all day. He wants your gal dead. All right, sack the matchup. Look towards top lane. Play through the top lane with Clid and Zoom. Zoom has shown that he's able to deal with the best of them. He's able to take out the shy. We've seen that historically. Looking towards Duke right here. Quinn is the perfect pick to actually give themselves an early game out of the top lane.
So let's talk about Zoom. The fact that he's picked up the Quinn really showcases what this player is coming onto the stage for JD, because not only does he play phenomenally on the tank picks, great on Mundo, we don't have to say too much about that, great on Ornn, but he comes out with great carry potential too off of the GP. When I first heard it was going to be Duke versus Zoom GP, that's what I expected coming out of both these. If they had the opportunity to go towards a carry option, it would be that pick. Only worry here for JD is if you go towards the GP, with how spiraling this series has been, how quick it can be, GP needs time. So it just says, hey, wait a minute, why don't I go towards another carry pick that has pressure? Quinn works perfectly here.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just not fast enough, whereas Quinn spikes to level 1. And then you can ride that spike through the early game. Because right in the last game, it's just like, well, we have the Vayne in the bottom lane. Let's wait for mid-game. You don't have 35 minutes. The game's going to be done by then. Invictus Gaming are going to take it to you with their preparation that Jackie Love was just talking about as we look to the Rift one more time, getting into our second game here in Beijing.
There we go. Respectful audience, too. Not like that Rogue Warriors crowd that just try and isolate him. Cut into his chanting.
I know.
I remember that time.
Rude stuff, but I understand it because yesterday, because it's the home arena of RNG got 5 chants. It's just like, okay, all right, gold medalist coming back of
Yeah,
Asian Games,
at least one.
All right, seems a bit much. All right, let's take a look at the keystones. Double electrocute once again from the Invictus Gaming lineup. Predator, of course, coming out of Clid. And multiple phase rushes. So phase rush was actually what we saw out of Quinn back when it was being played in the regular season of the LPL. Looking towards that side lane, great for the laning phase as well.
Same reason why Xin Zhao would usually tend towards a phase rush, just so you can actually chase down the person once you've nailed them. The issue is obviously you have great dueling potential, but you don't have much CC. You have nothing. You just have the knockback. And so you want to be able to finish the job. Having phase rush will do that for you. So there you have it. Even has the mana flow band, so you can keep topped up, which I like to see here. Means that the harass is going to be coming through alongside that Scorch.
Yeah. Also going for precision at second there, coup de grace. So all makes sense from Zoom, but it's how are they going to deal with this early game? I like the fact that Clid is actually trending towards top side after taking 2 camps. At the very least, he'll be here for a counter gank, if not just looking for this level 2 gank with red buff. Pre-warded out, Ning's going to see him. Probably doesn't want to tussle with the Jarvan, who's got double buffs.
This is doubly awkward, though, because Clid trying to go for a level 2 gank, Ning now knows his pathing. Ning now knows that he went towards the Krugs earlier on, and so that Skarner is going to be chased down to the bottom side of the map. The only benefit that Skarner does get out of this is that he will just get more experience as a whole with Ning not going towards Krugs in the bottom side. So if nothing happens top lane, then Clid should be fairly happy as long as Ning doesn't get the gank pressures through.
Yeah, the end goal is to get Zoom in the 1v1. The 2v1, perfect, but 1v1 he should be winning out. And again,
wait a minute.
Pre-set up by Clid.
Just come right back.
He just looped around.
Can he stop?
He's going back to base.
Okay,
he's stopping for now. Yeah, all the way pushed up to tower. Be surprised if you're looking for a tower dive this early on. Now we get to see the mid lane matchup. Yagao versus Rookie once again. Yagao coming here as a challenger. Wants to take a name. Rookie's not going to have it. Ning's not going to have it. Gets the Orianna, the favorable matchup once again. Ning, go away. Leave him alone.
We're trying to hype up the mid lane matchup. There we go. That's where I like to see it. That being said, Yagao...
Yeah, it's like, where's that ward? There it is.
Trying to pinpoint it. Yagao doesn't have too much mana to his name, so he needs to find time to base so he can get his, just at least a mana crystal up for himself. So he can come back to the lane fairly comfortable. Because he won't be able to immediately just get the tier, but he's going to be in a good spot to just trade right back into Rookie who doesn't have teleport, and then find his own back timing to finish up the tier. So it just gives him the laning phase strength here.
Now, neither of these junglers know what a bot side of the map is, to be honest. Clid is finally getting down here. This time he's invading into the enemy jungle. Going to see that red, of course, gone, because obviously Ning had it. And then putting down a deep ward, actually, placing down a control ward right behind the red pit.
Like being able to track down Ning. A lot of people would think, why not just go away and whisk the Krugs? But a lot of the problems of taking bot side Krugs if you're on red side is that easily enemy bottom lane can ward it out. Just place down a trinket, we'll see you are, collapse onto you. It's not a smart choice to go for, so placing down a deep control ward is the go-to. That being said, Ning has a good idea that it was placed. Gonna immediately take it out. Usually those wards stay for a long time on the map.
Yeah, you actually have to go out of your way to go check those ones. Yagao getting better of Rookie right here, but again, the first recall hasn't come out yet. Out of the Orianna, who is sitting on this cleanse, so doesn't have the free teleport that Yagao did. So he'll be staying in lane for a little bit longer, but again, farming up against this Ryze since it is a favorable matchup for him. And the bottom lane generally even as well. So we haven't had first blood yet. I know around now was when we were starting to have action start erupting for Invictus Gaming, as Yagao is once again going to push Rookie up to his tower.
And Invictus Gaming in this specific game would love it if no kills came through. Because top lane right now, sure, if you have a miracle gank, which Ning was trying to go for, you can get it, but they're playing incredibly respectful. There's no way you're going to be able to get the gank on towards Zoom, so there we go. They just want to at least have it so Duke can get his items, not being pressured under tower. So he's actually fairly healthy. I would be surprised if a dive ends up coming through. While the mid lane's getting pressured out quite as well just because of teleport. So at this point, Ning just has to recognize that his topside jungle is actually going to be heavily warded, if not stolen away. Clid is a jungler in the regular season that will come out and investigate and take your camps away. So heavy jungler who will come in and take, I guess counter jungler, try and take away from you. So Ning on the Jarvan wants to at least make the ganks happen, finds an opportunity bottom lane.
Towards it, Lumao does have to devour. It's going to be a double knock-up though. Flash of the way to 2-for-1. Loken kind of back to the tower, but Lumao still under pressure. Though he will get the rest of the shield out and look back towards Ning right now. Feels very competent to walk towards them.
There's a lot of utility here for Loken and Lumao. Having to use the heal, sure, to get the movement speed walking away from Invictus Gaming, but volley, extra autos onto Ning. It's a good way getting out of it. Just now, information being spent. Invictus Gaming knows that Lumao doesn't have flash. Easy way to come back and target him for a gank.
Yeah, it's one flash down on the important one as well. Also burned the heal off of that play, so got two summoners down to the bottom side. But again, an even game is a good game for Invictus Gaming, so if they're getting anything on their side of the map at all, going to be feeling very happy about this one. And looking specifically towards these matchups that hurt for them, looking at top lane, equal on farm. Looking towards mid lane, equal on farm. Like, these solo lanes are going super well right now.
A fight that Invictus Gaming have to go for is they need to secure their own blue buff. As long as Orianna can get that blue buff, she'll be fine in lane and start to out... She already had the range in the matchup, but can take control of the lane back. Already farming incredibly well, as Ricky usually does, but now the trades will go in his behalf. And then Jackie Love and Baolan are actually pushing back in his own lane. Now gives an opportunity for Ning, once blue buff is actually secured, to play bottom side and look for a dragon side focus. So I like what I'm seeing here from Invictus Gaming, just because they were able to weather the early storm.
Just feels like a lot of good mental clarity coming in from Invictus Gaming. And remember how much this series means to them. You know, they're gunning towards the final that should have been in spring. JD, they're seeing down the realm war, but they're actually sending in the Skarner right behind enemy lines, but then he immediately scuttles away and it's like, maybe not. Duke coming in from the top side.
That looked like a very good opportunity for JD. Maybe it was just not set up well enough. Remember, throw in Skarner, who's already level 6, has flash, so it should secure at least one person. Then just have Zoom clean it up, has a lot of damage, including the Ignite. So I like the play coming out of JD. Just felt like it wasn't set up well enough.
Yeah. And to be honest, if I'm Invictus Gaming, I'm looking towards JD as more of the unknown factor. You go up against EDG, I think you know what you're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
We saw it in quarterfinals, and it was just like, yeah, we can absolutely beat this. But against JD, yes, game 1 goes very well, but JD are always a team who keeps something in the back pocket. They always have something else. The Quinn comes out in game 2. We saw the Vayne in game 1. They're always going to keep coming out with more tools. As I'm looking towards the bottom lane, Clid. Going to see this control war, but it at least forces back this bottom lane from IG.
And with the discipline that Coach Home gave the team, I'm really happy that they still have that creativity in the players. That Zoom can come out, and sure, we're not seeing the Yorick play, but we're still seeing him come out with like fantastic picks like the Quinn, that he can still play his style of play. Yagao can come out with the Yasuo as well. everyone on the team trusts one another to carry out a game, and they're delivering during the regular season. You want to be able to see that confidence carry through into these playoff matches.
Right behind him in Fog of War, JD. Got their jungler sitting, but he's, again, going to wander off into his side of the jungle. Top lane. So he managed to find purchase onto Zoom somehow, so it's a real good trade for himself, probably in Infernal Chains actually, since that one's on cooldown. But Zoom taken him down to half, and so far this pick hasn't really turned into anything. Of course, the Quinn, the big power, is getting out of that lane, pushing up. Once you hit 6, you're going to be leaving with behind enemy lines, tag teaming it down to one of these lanes, getting into a skirmish. But we'll wait now. We're 9 minutes into the game, and I haven't seen any of that. Yeah,
because you need a little bit of a push, honestly. At this point, it's Duke actually pushing into Zoom. Has the sustain, has the Ninja Tabi, so he's actually surviving a lot of pressure that Zoom had out initially. So you'd like to see something out of Zoom, but Klid's actually chosen to play away from that lane now. And he's chosen to play around bottom lane, sure, because Loken's hit 7, you have the Ash arrow. They just need to fully commit to a play, and they're failing to do that.
Nothing's happened just yet. Also, Dragon going to be a major point of contention as well. So if he moves topside, then you're going to be essentially trading objective for objective. Herald just now on the board. It's kind of going back to base, so maybe it's picking up this Cinderhawk right here. We'll see. Double control wards.
The control wards are the most important because the vision battle's being won by Invictus Gaming. When Klid came bottom lane, there was a great ward there that caught him there. So immediately Jackie and Baolan knew that they had to back away. Ning's coming here for free.
Flash, flag, drag into the Cataclysm. Awkward combo there. Zoom's going to walk away from it, but Duke wants to go all the way in on us underneath the tower looking for the world ender, but he's locked under here. And where are you going to crawl away from? Because Klid's here as well. Zoom cutting away. Caught in the queue, but caught in the kill. First blood goes over to JD.
At least he had a fancy pose though. Mid-air, but he got blasted. That entire play, which Ning usually goes for, happens based off the disrespect that the counter gank will come through. Klid is there for it. You should have been ready because last game he was counter ganking mid so frequently. Was there for Zoom this time. Duke was like, all right, I can finish this on my own, bro. I got my ulti popped. But even though you have a second life, Klid's just waiting for you, buddy.
His was right there, instantaneous on the Impale, and yeah, gives him the boop, and then he's dead. That's it. Tower dive goes right. First blood to JD. And it's just like we were just talking about this Quinn. Not unlocked, not able to do anything. That's going to upset the bounce. And the top side of Klid now on that one play on top of the counter guy gets to move towards the Herald. And now things start to roll here for JD.
And this is just the problem. Wait a second, rookie here.
Under attack in the mid lane, unleashing the arrow, forced to cleanse out of that one. I really like the timing out of the cleanse. It wasn't instantaneous from the Ash arrow. Waited until Rune Prison was down.
Yeah, wait a little bit just to realize if anything was going to happen on JD's side. If you want to hold your cleanse, that'd be the best to do so. But recognizing that JD would have followed up if the full stun duration came through. That being said, I just love how such a weird game. Feels like the first person that comes out and throws a punch, just get counter-strike.
Yeah, it's true.
At this point, there's so many defensive options. Klid got a benefit out of the top lane play because at that point, Invictus Gaming were just disrespectful, came out striking first because of how slow the game was. 12 minutes in and nothing was happening. So it never happened. I know that happens quite a bit in the LCK, but
not in the LPL.
Especially with Invictus Gaming. They're attuned to games being so quick. So Ning thinks we can make it happen. The setup is good enough.
And frankly, you know, why not? The first blood goes over towards JD, and it's nice. But then it's the next step. And if they're able to pause step 2, it's essentially the same as stopping step 1. You know, Invictus Gaming just like, it didn't work. Let's just wait for 15 minutes. You know, we're still going to scale up. Rocky's going to be big. Jackie, we've got a Kai'Sa down in the bottom lane. It's fine. Onus is still on JT to make something happen in the early game. It's going to be coming out of Klid. It's going to be coming out of Zoom, but we're still waiting.
And take a look at this. Rookie, recognizing how slow-paced this game is, says, I can actually take some time before I build some real damage. Gets a QSS early on because you can already tell JD's strategy is just to pick him off. He already has cleanse, so why not cleanse in QSS just in case to completely cut off the mid lane play from JD. So we'll have to see. JD's already found their next position, their next target. But you can already see that Jackie Love and Baolan are moving out.
They're already backing away. They know multiple people off the map right now, and their tower's at critical HP. So JD, it makes sense for them to be playing around the bottom side, because if they can knock down that tower, and again, they unlock another lane for themselves, but it's not going to turn something just yet.
Really unlucky ward. Sure, it's in the pit, but one thing it missed was the one blue trinket that Invictus Gaming had outside of it. So if you're on red side, you definitely want to have the control ward outside of the pit so you can catch up quite a bit. Here we go, though. Ning is setting up.
Yeah, he's got everything as well, apart from the flash. But right there, Loken steps away. It's like, not today, buddy. And then we'll say, okay, well, I can't make this lane gank happen, so I'll go back towards my own jungle. It's been a whole lot of farming for these junglers, aside from meeting toe-to-toe. And finally, we get to see the first ultimate of the game, actually, from Zoom. Moving towards this mid lane. Places down a deep ward, looking towards Rookie. It's a bit of a flyby. Says hello, back to top lane.
Yeah, you already recognize it's actually going to be impossible to get on towards Rookie unless if you fully commit to the dive itself. Might end up happening, but before that, you might see a fight around Dragon itself.
Now remember, the Quinn doesn't have teleport and she's just returned to the top lane. Duke will have priority in this one if he steps away, which indeed he is doing. Yagao taking this Dragon down to half, and Ning has stepped up. This is a straight 2 versus 2, but here comes the rest of the team right here. 4 versus 1, dropping down right on towards them. Massive shockwave, but where's the follow-up? Where's the damage? Duke coming in, finds some knockback, and Jacula's right behind him, but Duke is still by his lonesome as Lumao pushing towards him, and Yagao finding his way back into the fight. Baolan brings up the wall, but we're now in this choke point. Down comes the Quinn, and now we're looking for the re-engage from JD. Skarner managed to secure the Herald while all this was happening. Places it down into the mid lane.
Yeah, trying to push Invictus Gaming out. They couldn't find a clear pick on towards Rookie, so why not just create space for the Rift Herald that's just to bash into the turret?
They should be able to drop this one. They've got enough pressure. Baolan below half yet. It's just chipped away from by the Quinn. Mid lane tower goes down, and JD win.
Yeah, decisive play from JD. Immediately going on to Ning. Ning's incredibly squishy. You go in towards Warlords, easy to strike you down. So already recognizing the true weakness of Invictus Gaming early on, trying to make plays happen, but no true tank there. If Duke's not there, easy to pick someone off.
And it was Ning, unfortunately, on the receiving end of that one. Bot tower is still very low. JD starting to make things happen. It's slow, but of course, every snowball starts off small. But we're still watching it roll down the hill.
Just creative plays.
Need to watch them stop it.
Yeah, just creative plays coming out of Tom Kench. They already tried a Tom Kench play on towards the mid lane to see if they can pick off Rookie. Didn't happen. But now using it as a flank on towards Ning, really well done because they had trapped them towards the Dragon fight. I was surprised that JD just stood their ground on towards Dragon. It's not going to work out well for you if Zoon's in the top lane. But they were so confident that they would be fast enough to burn down Ning's HP. Now Ning has to have that in the back of his mind.
Yeah, and confidence definitely is the name of the game here for JD, because you're right, they have been hesitant actually in a lot of plays, not just in the early game of this game, but also in game 1. You know, they always had to get that first kill to feel good enough. Jacula getting tortured in the bottom lane. Yagao just chasing him down to the turret. Baolan can't get anywhere near him, and he's got a very angry catfish going towards him. Doesn't quite find the gobble on the lockdown, but JD with the kill onto the AD carry.
I mean, they were already hearing you. It's like, wait a second. No, with decisive. Immediately moving on to the second tier tower in the bottom lane, and Invictus Gaming have nothing in the top side.
JD are moving on to the second turret. They got the setup. Baolan's the only one here protecting. Top side is the dive about to be set onto Zoom. How can he do this? Because he already got the teleport coming down, and he's blasting Duke in a 1 versus 1. He's going to put him into the passive. Ning trying to kite back. He has to go in to defend his Aatrox right here, but now he's under attack. Zoom flashes away from the Cataclysm, and he goes down.
You have to be frustrated if you're Ning there. Gets blinded when he's jumping in too. So what do you even do? Didn't even recognize that Yagao was coming in to back Zoom up.
Absolute disaster. JD, I wish to alarm you right now. This is a perfect game coming out from JD. 3 towers to 0, 4 kills to 0. They're about to pick themselves up a Dragon.
This is usually when you have a video shot up, you know, in the back, home with his hands up, finally back in this.
Imitating stake.
Exactly. Yep. The stakes are up.
The stakes are up.
That's what you would expect here, because that was really smart. You were already talking about how Lumao was actually playing this out to get the fights going. We didn't expect them to actually just use it for a dive opportunity into his Jackie-Love. Jackie-Love has been greedy in the past, recognizing that he can stay on tower and he won't get punished if Baolan's off there roaming. Baolan, who roams so frequently, you know, usually you'd see something coming into the play, and they actually challenge it. I thought that this would be easy for Ning and Duke, but Zoom says, wait a second, where's your brother? Where's your buddy? I can immediately go in and challenge him.
It was just expertly played. Duke out of the fight probably could have stepped up a little bit more than he was, but I don't think he was reading from the same page that Ning was. Ning wanted to go in originally to help out Duke, and he was like, we're just backing away, right? But then he was like, no, I'm double downing because I've got the Cataclysm right now. We can potentially find the kill onto Zoom, but disconnected play coming out of IG in those pressure situations.
Ultimately, if you're going to dive, you just need Ning to be there faster. And if he's not going to be there faster, then 100% just hold back Duke. So it's just a situation where Zoom saw that, challenged it, knew that he had teleport there in from Yagao, so he didn't have to completely play it passively. So well done here. Has 2 assists, sadly. No one who came top lane decided to give him that kill, but he's working for it. No lethality items. He's actually just going straight for what is some lethality.
Yep.
I mean, the crit,
attack speed, yeah.
attack speed, Blade of the Rune King. He's going to be isolating people on side lanes. Duke's going to have a tough time.
That's a fast bird right now. Hit level 13, so 2nd level of the ultimate. So we'll be flying by throughout these lanes, but 0-0-2, the kills have been coming to him. He hasn't had to hunt for them. They've literally, that was 2 times underneath towers. It's like, fantastic. Just give it to me. Give these kills over to this Quinn who wants to get ahead in lane. And like, curiously enough, the best play would have been to do nothing. Don't type the Quinn. Keep it at even. Make sure that you actually have a decent matchup heading in later into this game. And now the Quinn's feeling great.
Yeah, you know what? She's kind of happy that the kill tribute's been going towards Yagao. 3-0-0 as well. He's fully stacked up his tier into his Seraphs. So you got yourself in a position where Zoom and Yagao, both buddies, now side lane buddies, are going to be splitting up Invictus Gaming. Invictus Gaming, that are known for their 1-3s or 1-4s,
yep,
are now in a position where they have to answer JDs.
Juice locked in this permanent waltz, this permanent dance. Zoom, it's always going to be meeting him in the side lane. He's got the teleport though, but the thing with Quinn, you can literally run to a lane as fast as the teleport nowadays.
Yes, you can.
So that's, you got to be thinking about that one. He's already mid. There you go.
Right fast, right quick. And honestly, on top of that, I think how JD should be playing the composition is they should be using Ashe and Tahm Kench to push mid and just be packing it up and sending them towards the Quinn lane. Or do the same thing towards the Ryze lane. There's so many options that JD have here, and they're the ones with the gold lead, that the way they should be playing out with how much mid pressure that they have. Send the quickest members with the semi-globals off to the side lanes.
You're probably looking at IG right now and you're like, why don't you do something? Again, the plan coming into this was not to be super aggressive and just give up as little ground as possible against JD. Now we're in a situation where JD have 4 towers, and they have a lot of ground, actually, pushing into the enemy side of the jungle, placing down deep vision, and IG now on the defensive, really just trying to continue to get farm onto their carry, to get it onto Jackalov, get it onto Rookie.
And to your point about that, Invictus Gaming, for all of the deaths that have come through, these plays have started with IG striking first. Looking for the dives first, looking to challenge around the dragon fights. A lot of this was Invictus Gaming thinking they were confident, or at least having the members to take that fight, and JD just putting in a hard no. Either in Quinn coming in quick with Clid's ultimate, which is very difficult for them to play into. So now Ning is actually going to be doing nothing. He should do nothing. He's going to be an easy tribute now that he doesn't have stopwatch available. So he's going to be waiting and allowing the plays to happen if Rookie has enough AP to back him up with his shockwave.
I mean, it's this idea of fast reactions coming out from JD being facilitated by the tools that they have. Yagao, semi-global on him. You've got Loken with the arrow. Lumao can get whoever's with him nearby into a target. He's going to be facilitating Clid. Actually, 2 ways for Clid to get into a fight. And Zoom's going to be sprinting at you. In fact, he's not going to be sprinting. He's going to be flying at you like a fighter jet. So JD can react very well to aggressive players from Invictus Gaming, and they can initiate very well on these plays. And that so far has resulted in this game state 5,000 gold lead at 22 minutes.
I love the fact that this was such a quick bounce from Game 1. Game 1, which would demoralize any other team. For JD to come into it, it's not just because they have the players that are very calm, thoughtful. That's what we've seen from JD and Spring Split. But also just because they have Coach Home that's been the difference maker for them. So not only getting the players, but now the coach, UJJ, coming back from LGD. So the coaching staff is very strong. And for them to come back into this one just clear-minded, well done.
That's why I really love the point from the analysts, because they're saying about this team, a team who doesn't really get phased, whether they fall behind or whether they get ahead. They play exactly the same from Game 1 to Game 2 to Game 5. And that's why it's really cool to actually see them in these best-of-5 situations. Like, well, how's this team fare? Because this is still a relatively new team. You know, JD, Yagao, first year for him. Loken been around the block, but this team together still relatively new in the 2018 season.
Exactly, and I think for even just looking at the veterans for the team, Lu Mao comes to mind. 2 years in the LPL. It's not much of a veteran if you're looking down the barrel of Duke and Rookie, so
that's fair, yeah.
You're in a playoff situation against the best of them, against the most experienced. You'd think that there'd be moments in which you would second-guess yourself. Not here. That's what's been great about this squad is even in their spring split when they didn't get points, they were still in the playoffs, and they were bringing out picks like Blitzcrank, trying to cheese teams, because at the time they had enough consciousness to recognize that they weren't at that point just yet, but they were willing to try things.
Don't say that the Blitzcrank might not still come out. You know, with Lumao on the field, still definitely happen. But I think the story is very similar for Invictus Gaming as well. JackeyLove, a player who is very young. He was essentially the chosen one. You know, he was Anakin Skywalker. He comes in, it's like, all right, this is the year of Invictus Gaming. Forget about Year of the Dog. It's all about Invictus Gaming, how they come together. There's no more excuses for this team. If you fail here, then it's literally a problem with the organization and a problem with the 5-man lineup. Everyone's waiting for JackeyLove to join the roster. Here he is. What happens in spring? They fought the final hurdle. And right now we're here, 24 minutes into Game 2 in semi-finals. Can they push further? Can they push further than the spring split? Because if they don't, it's a straight-up failure. It's a failure for them and everybody who supports Invictus Gaming.
There's definitely a lot of pressure, let me tell you, especially into the rookie season of JackeyLove. That being said, they're getting pressured even more. Gao and Clid going in straight for a 2v on the jungle. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
2v1ing the Baron.
Wow.
The Baron's not winning. He is absolutely. But yeah, Gao is just like, he comes in from behind, and now he's down to half health. Yeah, Clid was just like, I'm out, goodbye. And like, Gao, like, are you coming back? Baron does so much damage, and now Invictus Gaming, they'll step up, they'll clear out the ward. Will they execute on the Baron, though? I'd be surprised if they did. Yeah, just taking away the vision around the area for now. But they're stopping any of those sneaks. But they're just saying, we can do it. Keep in mind that JD, we have 2 Blade of the Ruin Kings. If we bring any of those members, they can start chunking it down, % health damage.
And it's a good challenge, ultimately. JDG just wanted to see if they do 2-man on Baron, if it was good enough to just trick Invictus Gaming that it wasn't going to happen. But Invictus Gaming on the point right now. They recognize that Rise is going to be firing in a lot of damage, and they have double Blade of the Rune King on JDG side. So Baron is up 25 minutes in. Invictus Gaming recognized that, and they're not going to lose just because they weren't ready for these plays to come through.
And again, it's been a good solid 5 to 6 minutes now where both teams have been consolidating resources, picking up another Dragon of your JD, waiting towards the next mountain. Because we've already had one more mountain in this game. JD, you know, these sneaks that they're trying to make will happen even faster. You know, if you have 3 members around the area with double Mountain Dragon, they could easily sneak this away from Invictus Gaming, given how the vision game has gone. Yeah,
the problem is that they're just not pushing in far enough. For JD, it's just becoming very gimmicky because the next step is to push into the blue side jungle and really get some control wards there. It's an Invictus Gaming stronghold where they would usually push into the red side jungle, try and wrestle as much vision, so it's a long travel to the Baron if you want to go through uncharted territory. Invictus Gaming are not threatened. They're just sitting in their own blue side jungle saying, yeah, sure, you're clearing out the adjacent lanes, top lane and mid lane, but we're just sitting here for a fight. And JD are not comfortable enough looking to challenge and fight them for that.
Not for now, but you can see the amount of control wards that has just been picked up. Every single member of JD has a control ward. Lumao's on 3 right now. On the opposite side, IG just been on garbage duty, trying to collect all of the wards, knock them all down. And it's been a big old vision game for the last couple of minutes as Farm has been funneled into the AD carries.
There's a straight line of control wards here from JD across the river being cleared out. But they, as you mentioned, already have control wards themselves. So even though it's just going to turn into gold for JackeyLove, there's not much to be concerned about. If you're JD, you can just replace a lot of those control wards. But just not a lot of time for Invictus Gaming to place down Baron wards. So it's always going to be on now Rookie to change out his yellow trinket to a blue trinket so they can get some eyes on it.
Waiting for the point in time when Invictus Gaming feel confident enough to step up and beat JD in a 5-on-5. Actually delaying a lot of these builds because double QSS picked up by both Rookie and JackeyLove. Well aware there is a scanner on the enemy team and a lot of CC even coming their way, even from the Ashe at long range.
And thank you, Observer, already showing that there's nothing there to be seen in towards Baron. Because JackeyLove already used his blue trinket, there's nothing up and available. If JD just press tab, they'll notice that and will be a lot more willing to actually try for Baron once again.
Yeah, it's a complete blackout here for Invictus Gaming. Gao goes off to a side lane, currently sat on 2.5 items for him. Top lane going towards, again, as you said, that crit build. Very similar towards the actual real AD carry, Loken, in the bottom side. So 2 AD carries. Relatively squishy lineup, though, for JD. Looking for these picks really to start off these fights or a good flank for themselves.
But that's the problem here. They're looking for picks, but who is their option? QSS on both Rookie and JackeyLove, those are not reasonable. Maybe you'd look towards Braum, but are you going to have enough time to play up against the Braum when he just uses ultimate? So the answer for JD, they recognize it, is a hard no. They can't look for those picks. They would have to force a real fight here. Maybe force Ning out there, because Ning would be the prime target to try and burst down.
Even Duke has an innate Guardian Angel, in fact a better one since he can walk away. Yeah, JD just been dancing back and forth, controlling the vision. That's what they have to do. But the fact that Baolan's able to step up and even find a way into this one. Yagao by himself, though, but he's caught Ning. He's actually still pushing up with the rest of his team. Throws out the arrow. Baolan backing off. Duke holding the line. Blue will be secured there by IG. Just flirting with the idea of a fight. But again, we're waiting on objectives. They're there. 100 seconds until Mountain Dragon spawns. Cleared, separated from the pack though. Baolan chasing after that. Winter's Bite, if that had connected, that was probably a dead Scorpion. Yeah,
right next to the Baron too, so it's going to have to be Skarner rounding around the pit so he can join his team. So that was a great challenge here from Invictus Gaming. The only thing that really net them is vision, which is a positive. Means that they can buy for more time to get online. A lot of the gold that they used defensively for QSS, now is like, all right, now we're actually getting something. More AP for Jackie Love. Just got the needlessly large rod. And so for IG, they're getting and gearing up for a team fight, knowing that they out-damage JDG's team fight source.
Yeah, key players here as we get to see the antler view.
Let's go in. Helicopter.
Yep. And from up top, we can see that there's a Tam Kench pushing onto Rookie. Rookie's now running away and getting blasted. Oh no, I'm glad we're not there on the scene of the crime to see this one. Oh, here comes Jackulov leading the charge. Here comes the teleport as well. Invictus Gaming want this one, but Yagao, he's found Baolan. He hops the wall, and Jackulov still pushing forwards. Now will be tempered as Duke now trying to jump this wall. Cleared. He's in the pin with John, go toe-to-toe, but Yagao blows up Rookie. Duke comes in for the fight, 4 versus 5. They trade junglers right here, but they're still running away as Yagao wants blood right now. Here comes the arrow, flashes away from by Jackulov, but 2 kills to JD.
Just overwhelming DPS from JD. Now they can just go straight towards the Baron. I thought that was a good challenge. Rookie just got blown up, and when he goes down, who are you relying on for Invictus Gaming to take the fight?
Not a lot left in the tank, honestly, and JD with the 2 kills, 1 critical kill onto Rookie coming out from Yagao, softened up from the potential pick from JD as a team. Zoom chasing down Ning. There is no escape from a Quinn at this stage in the game. Flashes after. So much damage coming through. He'll be firing through this whole game. Duke turning this one around, though. Can he get in range for Jackulov? Just needs a piece of CC to land, but can't happen. The Quinn is way too fast. Great pick coming out of Zoom.
Just how much for respecting Zoom in that situation. It was Yagao and Zoom that were the kings of that fight. Because that looked really dicey for Rise. He was in a tough spot. They came out for Rookie. This was when we were up in the helicopter. In the chopper view. They're going for Rookie. Didn't happen. But they split up. Look Luma on the top side. Clid and Yagao to the right. This is a good opportunity for Invictus Gaming to fight them forward. But you already see Baolan taking a lot of damage. Then they try and threaten Loken's positioning. Even Ning locking down Clid. But the problem here was that flash coming through from Yagao, so there's no way you can try and get Clid. So it was a kind of a bait. They thought they had the opportunity to just converge onto Clid, but Yagao had his eyes on Rookie.
Wasn't to be the case. First kill, though, happening in the entire game for Invictus Gaming. Now 1-7, but JD, I mean, this is the exact inverse of game 1 if you're just looking at the stat lines, because JD have controlled everything in this game. Managed to pick up 3 dragons, 4 towers. They are almost 10,000 gold ahead of Invictus Gaming at this point in time. And Duke is just trapped in the side lane forever with this Quinn.
It's definitely refreshing. Night and day from game 1. Game 1 was just a clean snowball from Invictus Gaming, but this is much more slower, methodical from JDG. 32 minutes of them just taking control. Here's a fight.
Yeah, I mean, Zoom was just chipping away at Duke. They had to react with a Cataclysm. Otherwise, Duke was going to straight up die in the 1 versus 1. So that's just a reaction play coming out from Invictus Gaming. But they opted into this game. They opted it in with the composition. They see the Quinn. They see the rounds like, we're going to sit still. We're going to scale. They try to look for a potential dive, look for a potential skirmish in the early game. And JD just outplayed them.
They were definitely surprised by the top lane pick. Queen coming through, challenging Duke. They thought they could get an easy level 2 gank up there, but Clid has been on point, constantly counter-ganking or having eyes on Ning early, so that's not an possibility. And then on top of that, you say, okay, you know what, Rookie has the counter matchup, even though teleport's there from Yagao. Once he comes back to base, gets back on the map, the range advantage is what you're looking for, but then they just make plays on top of Rookie's head and forces him towards the QSS. So JDG have been very smart, methodical, in trying to crush what was the strength of Invictus Gaming.
And that is the beauty of JD. Multiple ways to play through. Even Loken on his hyper carry. Almost straight up solos out Baolan. He'll take a trip back to the fountain.
What the hell, man? You're just free firing on top of Braum. No one is safe in this composition.
It's meant to be the tank. It's meant to be the front line. You get while all this was happening, trying to knock down this tower. Ning, if he had that Cataclysm, which is about to come up, would have jumped on him.
The hell's good of a shield if you're just getting hit by projectiles?
There you go. I'm going to take the tower. No problem. Here's Lumao. He's the driver. We'll get him back to safety if he needs it, but I think they're just going to push up to this inhibitor. Find themselves a second one in this singular push from JD.
And just take a look at Zoom. He's just playing pressure at the side. If anyone oversteps, he can come in and threaten them. That being said, he's just now shepherding the bottom lane wave. There's no way for Invictus Gaming to just all in. If it's Ning, Ning will die all. He doesn't have a flash to his name. So no flash from him is a death sentence.
That is all inhibitors down for Invictus Gaming right now. JD just went from lane to lane to lane. And it was just too easy. Invictus Gaming are unable to step up. They're not looking for a fight right now. And Invictus Gaming, at some point, you need to go in. You have the combo if you want to engage. You've got the Jarvan, you've got Cataclysm, Flag and Drag, maybe waiting for the flash so you can actually get directly onto that backline. And you have Rookie with a Shockwave.
That's the issue. They would need the Shockwave, they would need a clean fight, but they're just consistently pushing the gold posts backwards, knowing that, hey, maybe their next target's going to be Yagao. But now Yagao has Banshee's Veil. So Banshee's Veil has now Rabadon's Death Capture, so he's going to blow up Ning, and also has that extra protective measure, so you need to be able to take down the Banshee's Veil before Rookie actually sends out his own ultimate. So we're in a position right now where there are not a lot of great options because there's way too much gold in the pockets of Yagao and Loken.
Frankly, I think we're waiting on one thing of your Invictus Gaming. That's the Death Cap about to be completed by
true.
Rookie. Once that gets completed and they don't engage, I'll be shocked if they didn't. Because that's the one time, a big spike that you could potentially find, you're going to blow up these carries. Because again, JD, you're ahead. This is a squishy competition. You know, Loken and Zoom going to drop real fast, real quickly. I like the more Malmortis who's coming out from Loken. That will mitigate some of it, but caught up on the Maelstrom, you're still going to die.
Just don't know if you have the time to get Rabadon's Death Cap, because JDG are coming in for the kill.
That's the question. Does he have enough gold right now? Because I see him going back to base. Yes, he does.
There we go.
This is critical in this final fight. But here come the minions, the 6th member. It's 6v5 right now, and
wow.
Rookie almost loses all of his HP right there. Tries to step up, arrows onto Ning. He says, get away. We don't want to fight right now. We're going to wound you, so you can't go for the fight in the first place. JD, they have to go in. There's the Shockwave, the Cataclysm's on, but they can't even kill Zoom. And the rest of JD are going to sweep Invictus Gaming. Duke in the 1 versus 4. There is no fighting out of this one. Crawls back to the fountain, but he goes down once more. 4 kills to JD. They are not here to participate. They're here to take it all.
Blasted. JDG come back strong. Wonder what was said in the back when Coach Home met them, because they feel cool, calm, and they were ready for Invictus Gaming.
They were so ready for Invictus Gaming. Entirely different team I saw come out of Game 1 and Game 2. I questioned, was it in the draft, was it in the execution? I think part of that was just knowing how to play into Invictus Gaming when they saw the game plan from them out of draft.
Sometimes you just gotta let Zoom fly. When you have players that are just that solid, you just give them the great matchup. Red side seems to be key between the series, because we're like, all right, red side Rookie, red side Duke the Shy, they can make it happen. And the only reason why the name is there for Invictus Gaming, because they have that name potential. You know who they are historically. But now you're starting to learn who Zoom is. You're starting to learn what Yagao could do. So now you gotta maybe take away their counter picks going into the next one.
And Loken turning up as well on this Ashe, scaling throughout the game. You know, every single point in this team right now from JD is just crisp. You know, coming into that first game, this is like a bit of a wash, bit of a gimme right there for Invictus Game, but this is the real JD that's come out here to fight here today. And that's what we were all expecting to see. You know, not just any team rushes straight through an EDG, makes it all the way from round 1, round 2, gets into the semifinals. This isn't just a team who's looked into it. It's a team ready to head to the finals.
Just a smarter team that can play standard. That's the worst kind of team to go up against, a team that now Invictus Gaming have to try and combat.
Yeah, big comeback, 1-1 now. We're going to see what the analyst desk makes of it.
JD Gaming equalized from the red side in Game 2 in a brutal fashion, saving the red side counter pick Quinn. I mean, we've been saying red side Rookie. Maybe we can say the counter side Zoom.
The counter side Zoom.
Exactly.
You need the double Z's in there. But I agree with you 100% that the last counter pick was very crucial, and you have to zoom in onto his summoners. He actually didn't bring a teleport, so a very vulnerable lane early on. We have seen this tried in the LPL. It didn't work because of those level 2 ganks, and I felt like the big thing about this pick, having the advantage over the Aatrox, was how much attention he got from Clid early on. You saw Ning going for 3 roams into the top side of the map, trying to get him down. They didn't get it, and that lane eventually did snowball into Zoom's favor. So very important for the red side is that you get double split pushing lanes.
Yeah, and I believe that's the big difference then, is if Invictus Gaming are on blue side, then counterpick very clearly ends up being saved for someone like Yagao or Zoom, and the lane kingdom strategy suddenly becomes a lane farm strategy. Sit under your turret, try to absorb the pressure of a Quinn, of a Ryze, of Ashe Tom Kench. And IG, they had no way to get back into the game. They were trying to slow it down and scale things up, but I believe it was the fight at Dragon that really broke things open for JD and gave them an opening into IG's base.
Definitely. I mean, what this series really tells me from the bad picks so far is that both of these teams are good enough. If you give them an early game lead, they will completely snowball you. Like, they're not going to be looking later into the game, not looking into the big 5v5, but it's going to be about priority. That's going to be the first thing in this matchup, and how you can actually influence early laning pressure from both sides. That's going to be the key things right here. And JD Gaming, with a composition like that, if they get map control, you're not coming back. They have way too many globals to play around, and their picks are way too strong. So, like you said, the big first Drake fight was where it all turned into JD Gaming's favor. Now, the setup was a bit dicey. We were actually looking at a 5v4 where Invictus Gaming had a teleport advantage, but they were willing to strike first and go in even on a 4v5. Zoom's very far away from this fight, but they still instantly go onto Ning and take him down first. That really leaves Invictus Gaming in a very awkward position. They have to back out through the ramp, and they lose the mid tower off of that as well.
Yeah, that was off of Clid dropping the Rift Herald that was taken after a successful defense from one of Ning's earlier attempted ganks top. And JD find their openings. They know, okay, we're playing 4 versus 5 while Aatrox can teleport in. We've got to wait for the Quinn to race across the map. We can play it slow. We can pull it back. We know we've got the Ashe to slow them if they try to get away.
But they don't play it slow. They actually take it on the first step. They are the first ones to go in. I was very hesitant about that play, and I felt like Invictus Gaming, like I was surprised that they would actually be engaged in that fashion. Zoom actually was showing in the top lane.
Yeah.
And JD Gaming still went in anyway. And that's the power about JD Gaming. They're absolutely crazy in their initiation.
Now this is 30 minutes into the game, and again, this is that initiation you were talking about. 2 members of JD try to find a pick onto Rookie, and this is the ensuing fight.
Yep, Invictus Gaming at this point, they need to claw back, but Rookie already lost all of his summoners. Yagao was waiting for him across the wall, snipes him out, and from this point on, they just have to run away from the situation, and that's JD Gaming's strength. We had in the mic check between Uzi and JD Gaming in their last set. After Uzi played a 1v3, the first thing he said in the mic check was, let's just end this series now. Do it now. They're actually rabid, and they will engage on you no matter what. They're so scary. Let's just end this now. And they rushed the Nexus being taken down because he was so afraid of what JD Gaming could do to you. They're very unexpected.
When they get the opening, JD can definitely strike. I mean, that's why we've been having the conversation of, do we expand the conversation of the big 4 to the big 5, or potentially take one of those names down and replace it with JD Gaming? Because this is the team that's making the miracle run. Again, the only way that they go to Worlds right now is by taking first, or by going through the regional play-in gauntlet against Edward Gaming, and it would be Invictus Gaming if they win this series here. So it is definitely an uphill battle for this team, but they've very clearly shown they've got the set play style. They've got momentum behind them in individual games. Our MVP will go to Zoom on his Quinn, who was able to win that top lane so handily and really just break open the map for JD Gaming by maneuvering across. I mean, you could see how Duke was effectively stuck just farming waves bottom.
Yeah, high risk, high reward play coming in for him right there. The movement speed build with the phase rush meant that the Aatrox could never really catch up to the Quinn in crucial situations, and also the top lane outplay was very critical in giving them early game leads. You could see IG, they threw a lot of weapons in Zoom's way. They tried to shut him down. They knew he didn't have the teleport, but it didn't work. He was able to survive all of that.
So here's the big question. If Duke went even in game 1 and fell behind in a bad matchup in game 2, do we see the Shy come in? Do you bring out the big guns?
All right, now my answer would be no. I don't think it was Duke's mistakes necessarily. It was a little bit about communication. He played the matchup about as well as you could, and Duke has been synergizing with the team better in the last half of the series. But then again, I expect them to go back onto red side, and the Shy's biggest advantage would be his champion pool.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what it's going to be. Let's take a break while we get ready for this Game 3.